Our communities want greater fairness and access to state resources for developing long-term solutions for real sustainability. They need policies and legislation that support their endeavours. They seek action instead of reaction. They are calling for leaders that demonstrate what our forebears sought and fought for, and to be given the opportunity to address their greatest concerns and realise their aspirations. They no longer want to be told that's just how it is. They want to hear how it can be and what they need to do to get them there. During the campaign, I made a commitment to the people of Noosa that I will fight tenaciously for their interests and that I will be accountable directly to them. And that means working towards a political culture that promotes teamwork, respect and empathy to deliver the needed outcomes for Noosa and for the whole of Queensland. Whatever it takes to achieve that culture, I will do. There are profound changes occurring in our Australian communities, which I have experienced firsthand, changes which we need to better understand in order to address. This requires for us to stop for a moment and really listen. I am sure you would agree that our communities are wearying of the bickering, bullying and the grubby tactics too often demonstrated in politics across Australia that consume headlines and taxpayer dollars. It is time to set a better example to our communities, especially to our youngest Australians, that bullying and aggression are not tools of negotiation. If we are a progressive, inclusive, innovative and fair society as we say we are, it is now time to say no to poor behaviour and time wasting in the political realm. We are paid to do a job and we need to spend our time productively. Our communities are also tired of roadblocks, red tape and a system that seems designed to stifle and block initiative instead of encourage. Let us nurture the possibilities instead of being fearful of change and retreating to the safety of the known. Let us be as innovative and efficient in our processes and culture that we ask of our businesses, our communities and our not-for-profit organisations in order for them to achieve sustainability. We need to lead by example. Most communities understand there are plenty of things a local MP cannot do alone. They also understand that with a concerted effort from them and their community, and with the support from members of Parliament and Government, they can make real headway to achieve their goals. This effort has to be encouraged and it has to be organised through visible, energetic and positive leadership by all of us. It requires a new culture in politics, a new way of getting things done. It requires a return to true community and its elements, and bravery by all of us to step outside the box. And it requires for us to respect our communities and their integrity by giving straight answers to their questions, even when that truth may be not what they wish to hear. This new culture of leadership and politics to succeed must rise above the corrosive force of silos. We should now be beyond this. Political silos are elitist and separatist, and they represent conflict, wasted effort and stagnation. We no longer have time on our side, nor endless resources to spend energy in the negative. When the people of Noosa came together to regain their own local government, they showed they could rise above what separated them to focus on what connected them. And it showed that a collective voice is both powerful and motivating, increasing collective responsibility and contribution. My focus is to help drive forward a united and interconnected community and a state that looks beyond just one issue or protest or political ideology, that seeks knowledge, promotes creative thought and works to demonstrate what can be done versus what can't, that looks beyond which government is in power and come together in this Parliament to create the outcomes sought by people from across Queensland. In order to achieve this broader vision, we each also need clarity at a localised level to have specific and concrete material objectives for our electorates. For Noosa in this Parliament, it is to ensure the adequacy of health and aged care and access to this care. The new University Hospital 60 minutes away at Kawana is a wonderful asset, but we also need our Noosa Hospital to be a well-equipped facility that has a guarantee for public service funding into the foreseeable future to accommodate our ageing population and 2.5 million visitors each year. Accurate allocation of resources requires an audit of the current health needs and capacity of the local healthcare system to cater to them, and that future demands can be accommodated. Being a national and international tourism drawcard, Noosa needs the infrastructure to accommodate this. Beckmans Road, 6 Mile Creek and the Karoi overpass are our historical traffic jams, gridlocks, dangerous intersection and one-lane bridges that flood with even moderate rain, leaving no alternate route, often for days at a time. We need effective solutions, especially with the population to the immediate south and north escalating, increasing the volume of day trippers to the respite Noosa provides. All levels of government prioritise education and employment opportunities. There is no greater opportunity than unused facilities that could be repurposed as enterprise and training hubs. I refer here to the former TAFE campus at Tewantin that was closed 5 years ago. We seek a commitment from government to support Noosa's efforts to buffer against future economic downturns and ensure that school leavers are not lost to our community. This site is a valuable part of this strategy. The Noosa of today has evolved through decades of astute local environmental policies, supported by a community that understands the balance that must be maintained between nature and human use, and that its social and economic welfare is reliant on its environmental well-being. We have serious challenges confronting our river. Waste disposal, erosion, silting, derelict boats, habitat protection and the enforcement of regulations relating to these continue to be of great concern. Solutions to ensure the environmental integrity of the river needs to be developed by the Noosa community and within the complex bureaucracy that presently administers our rivers. The final matter I wish to touch on is the statewide issue of housing affordability and electricity pricing, which are, as elsewhere in Queensland and Australia, major problems for low and single-income households who are doing it tough. Affordable housing is essential for the physical and mental well-being of all. There are many smart solutions that do not rely on tax or ratepayer dollars, and the private and community housing sectors have a number of options. I urge the government to recognise various models demonstrated successfully, as well remove unnecessary regulatory burdens and definitions on community housing providers. No person should be homeless or living under severe duress in putting a roof over their and their children's heads in a country of plenty. Our transition to renewable sources of power needs to be realistic, transparent and affordable, especially for those that are struggling. The complexity of the transition needs to be shared in a manner that our communities can understand and help achieve in order to support. This includes the provision of affordable electric or solar-powered cars. There are job and economic opportunities in developing product for low to mid-income households, and it is time to invest in this space. To resolve many of these issues, we need a bipartisan approach. I stood for election to offer a genuine, community-facing and cohesive way of doing politics. The people of Noosa elected me to this parliament because they believe this is a way forward. I am a conciliator, a mediator, a negotiator, not a warrior. However, I am not so conciliatory that I will see Noosa and other communities across Queensland taken for granted and being disrespected by governments. In representing the people of the Noosa electorate strongly and faithfully, I will expend whatever energy is needed to protect and enhance, to engage and collaborate, to negotiate outcomes that will build a more cohesive, prosperous and empowered Noosa and Queensland. That is my commitment. To finish, close your eyes one last time. Smell the rich history embedded in the furniture within this chamber and in the pages of the archives. Hear the voices echoing from the past and those projected back from the future. Can you hear what they are saying? Can you see how our communities and state would look and feel if our greatest issues were resolved? Can you imagine how you would feel if you are the catalyst for the necessary change needed to achieve that? Now open your eyes. As the only independent member of Parliament in Queensland, I am asking you, my fellow MPs, to join in leading the way for a new style of doing politics. Let's promote respectful behaviour and be good role models to our communities, especially our youngest Queenslanders. Let's concentrate on what we can do versus pointing out what someone else hasn't or can't do. Let's use our energy, networks, knowledge and resources constructively. Let's respect the people of our